Welcome back to the 80s Cinema Club. Yes, this is episode 27 on the 1984 film Terminator. And we have a very special guest joining us today who requested this film, Zach.
I'm a celebrity guest, the Zach.
Yeah,
Famous on Hot Coffee News.
Yeah, exactly.
We actually have one of our sponsors with us.
How many podcasts do this?
I paid 20 pence.
you paid, actually, by now, I think it's 43p.
43p, yeah.
We're getting up there.
Yeah, we're slowly paying off those microphones.
We're
slowly. Don't think we ever will.
I think it's like etching away like a massive boulder at this point. You know?
This is... So, yes, as I said, Zach requested this film, and we asked if he would want to be on it, and he said yes. So... into whatever this film's about then, yeah. I think most people know what the Terminator is.
I think so, yeah.
It was directed by James Cameron. It stars Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Terminator, Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor, Michael Biehn as Kyle Reese, and the plot is as follows. This is going to be a mouthful. No, I've already done it wrong.
This is going to be a mouthful.
Here we go. Sent back from a dystopian 2029 to 1984 Los Angeles, the indestructible cyborg assassin known as the Terminator commences his deadly mission to kill humankind's most important woman, the unsuspecting Sarah Connor. However, from the same war-torn post-apocalyptic future comes a battle-scarred defender, Kyle Reese, a brave soldier of the human resistance, I've put so many hyphens in this, I can't read it.
Whoa.
Right.
This is great.
Kyle Reese, a brave soldier of the Human Resistance Army, bent on stopping the cybernetic killer from eliminating the world's last hope. But the Terminator has no feelings, he doesn't sleep, and above all, he won't... Why am I having a bad day today? Above all... he won't stop until he carries out his grim task. Does our future lie in our past?
That was definitely a mouthful.
It's a simple story, but it was revolutionary at the time.
Yeah, let's just say that.
You see a lot of time travel sci-fi films these days, but it was revolutionary at the time.
Yeah. It had a budget of 6.4 million. How much do you think it made at the box office?
I mean, I'm kind of guessing it's probably a success at the time. Like,
say probably 60 million.
Yeah, I'd probably go around that actually. Yeah,
you're not far off. It's 78.48 million.
Pretty close. Good success though from 6
I actually
million,
looked up because obviously in today you have all the films making billions at the box office and stuff. The highest grossing film of the 1980s was E.T. with 399 million.
Wow.
Which, adjusted for inflation, would be quite high, but still, to just look at it.
It's mad, isn't it? It's still pretty high in a film.
Yeah, so on this successful note, we shall move on to the likes and the dislikes. So, likes and dislikes. I think this was quite a good film for some of the things we usually do on here.
I mean, I don't know what you're on about. Race the Titanic. That's actually one of our better episodes.
There's been some shocking films
that has been
on the 80s Cinema podcast.
Oh yeah,
we have had
very low-rated ones.
Oh. What have we had? Prince of Darkness. That was probably our lowest. I think that was the worst thing we've ever seen.
Yeah, so I think this is a breath of fresh air.
Oh yeah,
well, I mean,
definitely.
We've had some good films recently, but this is...
Yeah, you're making it sound like...
we review the shit pile. No, it's...
No, but yeah, Terminator definitely was a good film. I think... I'm trying to put it into words. It does definitely have that classic 80s feeling that you can just sort of watch it and enjoy it.
Oh, yeah.
We're noticing that a lot with... Or I've been noticing a lot with the 80s films that... The good ones seem to just be films where you can kind of switch off for a bit and just enjoy what you're watching. Some of the action I thought was really well done.
That's what I think. I think it's obviously you have the action, you know, of the 80s, like, you know, or just of genuine action films, like, you know, you can switch off, but also kind of has a bit more of an elevated story. Like the stakes are a bit higher than your average, like, I say this like loosely, like your average hostage situation. Like it's not like, you know, some one man is gonna go save like an entire like town or something. It's like, if we don't do this, we'll all die. The future will be like everyone will die. Yeah. You know, it's like
it's a very,
you know, everyone in this movie is killed. You know that you expect them to die at some point. If they're not lucky, they could die because everyone is just killed. It's an incredibly violent movie, so the stakes are high, and there's a lot of tension for that reason.
Yeah, I think that's what. I think one of the other things I said was it's probably one of the most iconic like movie scores, with like the sounds of the Terminator, like dun 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 dun. Like it's kind of like
that
when you make like a simple thing. So every time the Terminator shows up on his own, there's a faint bit in the background, which is building this tension. Because actually, at the start of the film, you don't know what it is.
No,
like,
you're left in the dark.
I'm sure there was trailers and stuff at the time, and it was like, oh, meet the unstoppable machine or something. Like that.
Meet the unstoppable machine.
I don't know.
Oh my god!
But like watching it, you think, God, what? This is really weird. Why it's so emotionless? He just because at the beginning he just shoves his hand through one of the punks.
Yeah, exactly.
Just rips it out, and is like, that's like no normal person can do that.
No,
and
I mean, speak for yourself. I've seen some mad stuff. Go to Stockton Town at night. Some of the crackheads can do mad things.
Alfie's been in some fights. He's
not me personally. I don't want to admit to murder.
I think the role suited Arnold pretty well. He's not a great actor in general.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you.
He didn't have much of sort of a speaking role or anything. There weren't many lines, but I think he suited that role well, and he picked his roles well in other movies. Predator. He always suits his role. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he works best with when he doesn't have to talk.
Yeah, when it's more about his physical appearance,
exactly,
than actually.
Because when he does talk, it is like he talk. It's like a robotic way.
Yeah, very.
Because it sounds like he's speaking English.
Yeah.
But to someone listening, it's like you don't understand him perfectly.
True,
I'm not just saying I'm not just saying it's like his accent. I mean like. It would sound slightly off if you were to talk to him because he's a cyborg. He's not human. Like he's been programmed to speak.
He's got
he hasn't been taught to speak.
Yeah, that monotone voice as well. I think definitely.
Yeah,
his accent makes him mysterious.
Yeah, it does. Because he walks into the police station, doesn't he? Goes, "I'm a friend of Sarah Connor," but it's really
that actually was one of the better impressions.
Yeah, I know. It's because he says it just straight up.
Yeah,
there's nothing in his voice.
No,
which I think. Although we say, it's a lot about his physique and the action hero he can be, but the way he does deliver it, probably does take a bit of skill to just look at someone and just say something and just be like, yeah, that's it. Just walk away afterwards.
I do like how you're saying it takes a lot of skill to look at someone and say something, which is what we're doing right now. We're looking at each other and saying
this takes a lot of skill.
Yeah.
Not everybody can be a podcast host.
I suppose so. I think it's quite an easy thing, I'll be honest, though. We've not got it difficult. I'm trying to think what else that I found quite well done. I think I quite like the car chase scene as well. That was quite good.
That's one of the things that obviously you want to praise action films for their action scenes because they're what they're trying to draw you in with. But these are probably some of the best car chases that I've seen because they'll all be practical.
Yeah, but it's from the 80s, isn't it?
Yeah, you can tell, especially the driving of Reese when he goes through all the alleys and stuff. It's very well done. And then the Terminator when he's on his bike, shooting his shotgun from way far out range, I think.
No, I'm sure he knows what he's doing. Oh god, it was a really good scene.
Yeah, I think they tried to up that in the next movie.
All right.
Yeah, with the another chase scene with John Connor and but I still think the original is the most effective.
Yeah, because it sets the tone, I think, for what they were trying to do. I think it's the desperate driving of Reese, Kyle Reese, because there's a Terminator following them who knows how to drive everything because it's just in their programming and they can look at it and they know how to do everything. It's it's kind of hard to face up to the fact that something that genuinely won't stop.
Yeah, it's so
I think that's the thing of it is when you have a human antagonist, they have a limit. Literally, whereas they're pushed to their limit to show it's it will always end with them dying or being stopped or they have to make a decision. All the decisions the Terminator has to make is how do they get to them.
Yeah, it's
there's no waiting around. It's I get to them and I just walk to what. There's no stopping them.
Yeah, it's a constant pursuit, really, isn't it?
Kyle Reese really has no power, does he? Apart from knowledge. He's put back in time, forward in time, and he went back to obviously stop the Terminator, and all he has is knowledge.
Yeah, because he knows that he can very, very briefly just not even wound, because it is stop for a second
Essentially, it's,
with like, you know, one of the biggest shotguns. It's like when you really just like stop them in their tracks.
all he can do is essentially buy time.
Yeah, it's like a distraction, isn't it?
pretty much. He just acts as almost a human shield for Sarah for most of it.
But that's the thing, isn't it? That's what it's trying to show.
Yeah.
It's like, what can you do against this?
Yeah,
like
you
you've got to
can't do anything.
It's like the only one of the, I think, you know, they end up dying because obviously all his skin gets burnt off.
Yeah.
Then they go into the factory, and it's only when, like, I guess machine meets machine, really.
It's quite funny. Old versus new.
Well, it is, because it's like a hydraulic press or something. Just gets crushed by it.
I like the slow decay of the Terminator as well.
It was really
cool.
cool.
The movie, he gets shot, and then he has to pull his skin off and repair himself, and then by the end of it, he's just an exoskeleton, isn't he?
Because that's what they're saying. They're saying he's unstoppable, but to blend in, they had to give him human everything, like skin and blood, so he fits in. But the problem with that is while the Terminator doesn't have to heal, the human bit won't.
Yeah, essentially it's like painting over the metal skeleton.
Yeah, exactly. So you get damaged. So like he's getting shot a lot. So that's going straight through the skin. Obviously, it doesn't harm him at all.
No.
But can't do anything about all the skin that's just been blasted off him.
Slowing off him practically.
Yeah, because like you would, if they shot him enough, he would just end up walking around with like.
Oh yeah,
because like you said, when he took his like eye out or the lens out.
Yeah, that was a bit of a freaky scene. It was
well like because it shows that like that was now stopping him from seeing because it wasn't proper anymore, so he had to take it out and wear sunglasses.
It shows kind of the mechanical thinking of it, because it is essentially I mean, as a person, obviously the idea of taking your eye out is horrific, you know. But
he just does it so much like, oh, cool. Just gonna stick my fingers in my eye and rip it out.
Yeah, just to be as optimal at killing as possible, and that's just a hindrance to him, really, isn't it?
Well, immediately in the first scene, we see him rip someone's heart out.
Yeah.
It sets the tone immediately.
It definitely does.
It's going to be a violent, gruesome movie, which it is.
I mean, those guys, you kind of feel sorry for them, but at the same time, you know, they try to jump a dude at like middle of the night.
I don't get what their logic was, to be honest.
I'm not sure either.
Look at this naked man, right?
Yeah.
He's like 7 foot tall, right? He's got like the biggest six pack that you've like ever seen. Like not even just that, like his body is like so huge. And they go like, right, get your knives out, lads.
Get your knives out, lads.
Get your little pocket knives out. It's not like
even
being not the Terminator. He probably could have threw them off the observatory.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
He literally could have picked them up and just chucked them off the hill.
That would have been a fun scene, actually.
Yeah.
You just picks up and you see the pan from the side as this guy goes flying.
Yeah, you get the Wilhelm scream.
Yeah,
someone
literally.
someone just flies off the side. That would have been definitely an interesting.
And you've got the contrast between the Terminator, who goes up to these punks and basically, you know, rips the heart out and has the power, and then there's Kyle Reese, who's running away from the police, and he cowardly sort of steals a homeless person's pants and then runs away.
That was
it's funny. Just the contrast between the two. I think it's really well done.
Yeah, because it's like obviously like Kyle to the other people is like kind of like the misunderstood hero for a bit.
Yeah,
because he's not exactly doing good things.
No,
but he's helping, because then you learn the bigger stakes about it.
Yeah.
So like literally, because he doesn't try to kill the police officers. That's the thing I think that shows.
Yeah, he's not quite.
Well, he was definitely willing to.
Oh yeah.
But when because it's like it was Sarah or nothing.
Pretty
because
much.
that's, you know, well, one, that she was going to give birth to like the saviour of the earth, and two, she was in love with her. So, you know, they kind of had to do that.
Yeah, I think as well, sort of, it's for like 40 minutes or something. Obviously, you see the Terminator and Kyle sort of interchangeably in scenes, but it's never sort of shown up until the point where she enters the bar and the Terminator's there, that Kyle is actually there to save Sarah, because obviously he's following her in the street with a shotgun underneath his coat.
Yeah.
So you kind of left question for a bit, right, as if, is he also trying to kill her?
I know that is the thing, because he's there seeming like, because obviously you know the Terminator isn't like, you don't think he's human even before you know he's like a proper robot.
You think
because it's like when he knocks on the other Sarah Connor's door.
Oh yeah.
And like that's probably one of the most like harrowing scenes from the film.
God, yeah.
It's just like shooting this poor woman.
Opens
like,
on immediately.
Knocking on the door, you Sarah Connor? Yeah, bang.
She's dead immediately.
She's dead. You know, that's
Zach's
smiling. we've got a bit of a psychopath. He just.
That's why we don't have phone books anymore, thankfully.
God, yeah.
You can get online phone books though.
That's a bit weird, though.
Yeah, that's true. You'll be getting your IP next. You know, 2023.
Track down you by
Pulls out a
Wi-Fi
laptop,
signal.
starts IP tracking people. Oh my god. Yeah, it definitely wouldn't have worked modern day, would it?
Yeah.
Tracking down the 80s cinema podcast.
Oh god, we're gonna get killed.
It's like, I like the bit, well, not the bit. I like the bits where it shows Arnold just being emotionless,
Yeah.
which is pretty much every time he's on screen. But like,
That sounds like a dig at him.
no,
I'll be
no,
honest.
but like that's the character.
Yeah.
But I meant like obviously the start when he rips someone's heart out.
Yep.
And then even when he hotwires a car, but he just punches straight through the window, like says nothing. Then he obviously
quite like that,
goes and commits a murder, like
Just a couple.
totally emotionless.
Oh, when there's that one guy in a phone booth and he just
Tears
out.
him
God,
away.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hey
he's like,
man, you got a serious
attitude
attitude
problem. I like how he doesn't. That guy must like went, hi, because you need a serious attitude, and then he looks at him and goes, yeah, I'm not gonna,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fight this guy.
Huge guy in a massive black leather coat. It's like, no, maybe not. I'm alright.
Yeah, probably not. I like the product placement of the Nike shoes.
Yeah.
You notice that?
Oh god.
I didn't see that.
So it happens twice, really. So when cars running through the store at the beginning, and he gets changed. I think it was is it a photo booth or a changing room or something off to the
Something
side.
like that, yeah.
And he jumps down from whatever he was getting changed on, and all you see is his feet, but it's just some Nike shoes, and it's like blatantly placed there.
Oh,
And then later on, when they get off the truck, I think they hitched a ride off someone, did
Yeah.
they? At the motel, you can just see their feet for a second, and it's still just the
More
Nike
Nike shoes.
trainers.
It's
I
a
just
great
thought it
product
was-
placement, like you said.
I like spotting blatant product placement.
Another funny thing I spotted is that right at the start you see, I can't remember what it is now, but there's it's where you're establishing the scene. It says like 1:52 a.m. August 29th,
Yeah.
and it's a garbage guy out at like 2 a.m. doing his job, and just the amount of dedication that garbage guy has. He's an unsung hero. I feel.
It was. I don't know what it was. It was like looked like a living digger, didn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
I couldn't tell what
don't
it
know
was.
he
I
was
wrote down
doing.
what's a garbage guy doing out at 2 o'clock in the morning, but it's fair enough.
The night shift, I guess.
Yeah. I'm trying to see what else I've got.
Other things I have is just the so the police station scene in with like the brutality of the Terminator. He technically I don't know all these acts about it, but he just committed like a terrorist attack basically.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
Like he did the "I'll be back" thing, then drove his car.
that was super cool, wasn't it?
drove his car straight in the thing, and then just mercilessly shot through the police station.
Yeah.
So it's like you see the police shooting him because they would have the 30-something police officers definitely would have been able to deal with someone like that
Oh god.
if they weren't bulletproof.
That's
And
kind
then
of the issue.
you just see the police officers getting hit with the massive shotgun from a foot away and going flying
Yeah.
down the corridor.
I love how Dr. Silberman just leaves the police station just as the Terminator's entering.
Oh yeah.
That's just setting him up for the next movie. You know he's going to be in
Oh,
it.
is he in the second one as well?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't
Yeah,
seen that.
gonna go write his book.
Oh wow. God,
Yeah. I can't. There's not other things. I think it does have the good one-liners as we've said before.
Mm-hmm.
So there's obviously the "I'll be back,"
Yeah.
which I think a lot of people remember. There's another one. Oh yeah, "Come with me if you want to live."
Yeah.
That's another one, and it's the one she says at the very end when the thing before she kills the Terminator. Oh no, I think it isn't "You're terminated, fucker" or something. And then she then she hits the button and it crushes him.
I mean, that sounds about right.
Something like that. I can't.
Makes sense.
This is really bad that I can't remember, but those type of things.
Out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it when the guy comes to try and collect money for the Terminator staying in his place? He says, "Get fucked, asshole."
No, yeah, because that's the funny thing because it has a lot of options on the
Yeah.
Terminator's face. It's no, yes, yes, please, go away. No, it's fuck you, asshole. Just out of the side.
It's almost like dialogue options in the game, isn't it?
Yeah, and I put also the Terminator looks mostly good.
Yes, I definitely agree.
Because we'll get on this dislike bit, but in the factory scenes, when it's the actual animatronic of
Yeah.
the Terminator,
It's
I
not.
think
the
I think it looks good.
Okay.
like,
Yeah. Fair.
The actual bit when you can see
The
they've
close-ups
built it,
looks
Right.
good.
Yeah.
and they've put it. So it's when he's walking up the stairs. Sometimes you can see it, and when they're it's actually physically in front of them, and
Yeah,
they've
fair.
built that,
That's
and it
that's
actually
true.
looks really convincing. Unless anyone has anything else to say in the section.
I will quickly scroll through. The lizard called Pugsley.
you liked the lizard called
I just
Pugsley.
wrote it down. Like I said, I write down things I just noticed throughout the whole thing.
Fair enough.
odd little things. That son of a bitch took my pants. That was a funny one.
Yeah, that son of a bitch took my pants.
See, that's how you do impressions. Zach's much better at this.
Well, okay.
I'll
I'll just pre-record all my impressions. Get Zach to do them.
Oh, you should, yeah.
As I'll do them.
No, my dad's just that's all he does. Impressions of from Terminator.
Really?
Yeah, sat at the dinner table doing those impressions. Yeah.
He says, "Fuck you, asshole." Fair enough. You're like, all right, Dad. No, I get it.
It's like, honey, what do you want for tea? Fuck you, asshole. No.
Oh, wow.
No. So one of my main dislikes, which I know is more like a thing of the time and not a bad thing on their thing, is the Terminator when it's moving fast. Looks really shit.
It does
because it's animated.
It is pretty bad.
So we talked about this just before we started to record. The main bit you can see it is when they run into the factory and the Terminator is running after them, and the camera is positioned at the door.
Yep.
And the Terminator is running towards them. But what should happen if it was a real thing? The Terminator should scale down to the fact that it's about to run into the door. But what actually happens? It looks like it's running at, if you get in a hotel or some doors have them, when you can look through like the peephole in the door, it looks like they've run up to that, and because it's massive by the time it gets there.
Oh, I don't know exactly what you know about that too. Yeah, it really hasn't aged well.
Yeah, the close-ups where it's just the head and the torso looks pretty good.
And even when I think it crawls through the tunnel, you can tell they're trying to use the animatronic more that they built. It's I think it makes it more creepy, the bad animation that it had. Because it already is, like, creepy in itself, like the red eyes and the gritted teeth. Like, that are just there. Yeah.
I found that weird.
Then
Out of everything, they decided to let's just keep the teeth.
That's what my mum said when she was watching it.
It's a really odd choice.
She said, it's a robot and everything. Why has it got teeth?
He's got to be able to chew his food.
Because I know, like, they're supposed to make it look human, but surely they didn't need to put teeth in if the teeth were on the outside of the... like on the outside skin.
Who knows, honestly. An interesting choice.
The little things I put. There's no way Arnold fit into those biker clothes.
Yeah.
Like the punk clothes or whatever.
There might have been elastic or like... Yeah. I mean, there must have been.
Because he was like 2 times the size of the one he was getting the clothes from.
You can just make clothes fit his body, It's like the suction trousers in Back to the Future. He puts it on and he just fits too much.
But Arnold doesn't shrink.
The Terminator could shrink and then fit back in and buff up.
Sure.
Wait until you see the second film where he deflates himself to go through a really small space. I've never seen any of the films, so I'm just pulling out my ass.
I also said Arnold without eyebrows.
Does he not have eyebrows at one point?
Did you not notice him with no eyebrows?
When they're singed off.
Yeah, when they're singed off.
I missed that, no?
So it's when they're trying to escape from the nightclub and he gets lit on fire from the exploding car, and when he jumps on and holds the front of the car, his eyebrows are singed off. So like up until he puts the sunglasses on, he just has no eyebrows.
That's hilarious, actually.
It's so creepy.
I'm just looking at it on my phone now. Oh my gosh, he doesn't. It looks like a fake face, doesn't it? I mean, to be fair, you can kind of see his eyebrows have been painted over.
And actually, that's another thing. Obviously, it's the scene. So obviously, the scene where he takes his eye out.
This was nothing for me.
Yeah,
that prosthetic face really.
It's so bad.
It looks so bad, isn't it?
It looks like something from like any cheap budget slasher film.
Yeah.
Like when they're trying to make it look like someone's been brutally murdered, and like they put like a rubber thing on their face to like pump blood through and stuff.
It was exactly like that.
So, but you see it a few times. So obviously, him taking out the eye is really cool.
Yeah,
but as soon as you see it, so the Terminator eye, like the actual red eye, looks good. But the mask they've put on top of that, it looks like so bad.
It looks very cheap.
It looks like a mask.
Yeah, well, I mean, makes sense.
Yeah, and you see it again a few times when he's sat in when he's like his hotel room again, and like he's just because before he puts the sunglasses on. I don't know. It's more unsettling, but it's like you look at it and you go, that kind of breaks it a bit because he doesn't look like. The whole point was he was supposed to look human, and they even said, Kyle even said, what was it? They used to have rubber bodies, so they were easy to spot. Yeah, and it's like he's been given a rubber body.
He's just having a rubber body. It definitely was. I think the worst part is that it would intercut between Arnold's own face and
Yeah,
then the mask, which
so if
made you realise how
had
bad
a
it
side shot
was.
where it didn't show the eye, it would be Arnold's face, and you could kind of see like the sweat.
Yeah.
So, like you knew it was him. As soon as it went back to showing him from the front, it was like bad mask again, or it looks like he has like an extra layer of skin on.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't the best. I think, like we were saying earlier, the concept of the scene was cool. Just the use of the mask kind of detracted from the actual value of it.
And like we've seen some good things on here. Like I know it's not a mask, but when you think of the things they made for like the alien in the Thing,
Yeah, true.
you know, it looks really good.
That was
And,
you know, definitely very good.
Other similar
gruesome.
things. There's definitely, I feel like, a way. I mean, yeah, their budget wasn't huge.
True, but
But
there could have been.
There is a way they could have done it, I think.
They could have just got Arnold to cut his eye out. Like, it's kind of
Exactly,
inconsiderate of them to just not ask him.
Method acting.
Exactly. I reckon he could have grown another eye back by now.
Pretty quickly. Pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, give him like a year or so. He comes into Predator, he's got like a massive scar across one eye.
Doesn't wear an eye patch. For
That
all
would
the
just
rest of
add
his
to
film.
the role in Predator, wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, he would have just looked more cool.
The Predator could take his other eye, could be...
James Cameron
shooting
gets
around.
sued.
You know, they spent a lot on the car scenes. I'm glad they spent a lot on the action sequences.
Yeah, I think that definitely carries
If
the
Yeah.
they had to cheap out on other things, I don't really mind.
Yeah, I don't think it like takes away from like the big thing of the film. I just think it's a little like gripe that when you're trying to set this thing of this unstoppable machine,
Yeah.
and it being,
It looks like a
you
cheap
look,
kid's
you look at
toy.
A bit
it,
of the tension,
yeah,
especially
you look at it and you go, oh, it's fake,
Mm.
like you know,
Yeah. Oh, isn't he? There's a scene where he's cutting, like, what is it? A bullet? Is it a bullet out of his arm?
yeah.
That thought actually
Do you
wasn't
know,
too
yeah,
badly
because
done.
obviously that would have been filmed like Arnold would have had his arm behind his back, and there would have been like a rubber hand
Yeah.
or something, and then he would have obviously cut it open. It would have been filled with blood and stuff, and
So I think
the
you-
mechanics.
Yeah.
But that looked good.
So even if they'd just zoomed in on the eye while he was cutting it out, rather than showing the entire cheap mask, I think would have been a better way of doing this.
Yeah, I think that probably could have worked. You're
And
right.
then showing the longer shots. Obviously, you do see Arnold's face with the red thing, just his actual face. That probably would have worked a little bit better.
There's
but
not
again,
much else
obviously-
I really dislike about it. To be honest, I thought it was really good.
I've just got lots of little nitpicks, essentially, but none of them are really anything big. I think the story got sidelined for quite a lot of it. They tried to make it a thing, and sort of you get the introduction, like I'm saying, in about 40 minutes through, where you get Kyle and the Terminator sort of showing that Kyle's
Yeah.
a good guy. But then it just sort of... I think mainly it's probably just because of the threat of it all. Not much of it gets developed aside from a really long flash... See, it's weird with this, because it's not technically a flashback, because it hasn't happened, but that weird scene where it's showing the other Terminator going into... Is it the human rebel
Like
base or
yeah,
something?
when he gets the massive like,
You get Franco Columbo in there.
yeah,
He's gunning everyone down.
like
It's
the
like, fair
futuristic Gatling gun.
Yeah, you get sort of like little dumps like that, which wasn't too bad, but at the same time, for something that felt like such a grand thing, it didn't really feel like they could tell whether they wanted to develop
Yeah.
the story a bit more or just kind of wanted that to be there to serve the purpose of the Terminator.
It's definitely what they wanted to do in the next movie because they
Oh,
focused
right,
that
okay.
on in
Oh.
Terminator 2,
That makes sense, then.
Judgment Day.
Yeah, it's
Yes, I think they explored that more in the second one.
I might have to watch the second one then, actually.
I do think this is another thing. So obviously, John Connor knows that Reese is his dad
Yeah,
because Sarah leaves the tapes for him and tells him about it. So that's why he gets sent back. But obviously, Reese doesn't know this. And that's why he gives her the photo because he knows Reese will like fall in love with her.
yeah.
And to me, it's a bit of a loose storyline. Like,
Yeah, true.
But I do kind of get it because if you think about it in the fact that, like he says, all their women are like good warriors and stuff.
Yeah.
He's not really had to think of any. He's not had the time to think about someone like that.
Yeah.
So
True.
he probably hasn't known like what love is, considering like they have to hide all the time, and so getting that photo of like a woman who doesn't like fight every day and like it's from another time, he's like, I can kind of understand how you'd fall in love with someone like that.
Yeah,
like
he's given her time to relax,
you
essentially,
know, like
on back, isn't it?
yeah, it's like a break from what he has. So then when he meets her, it's like it, you know, he can experience it.
Yeah.
So I think it is quite. When you first think about it, it's like, oh my god, why they're having sex? There's a Terminator like coming after them. It's like, what is this? Like, why are they? But I guess if you think
True,
it on
yeah.
like on a deeper thing, you could kind of think that's why, because
Yeah.
in the future he's got nothing.
Yeah,
Exactly.
he's probably had feelings for a while, really,
Yeah.
with that picture. Yeah.
I think you're probably right. She sort of represents the ideal world to him, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Doesn't she? Sorry, because essentially, like you say, she's this picture from 1980, where everything was fine. There was no worry about the nuclear war or whatever. It was before it all started. So to him, it's like, oh, this is the great time. Everything was alright. If only the world could be like this again. So, like you said, it makes sense.
Yeah. So he's not just in love with her. He's like in love with the thought of her.
The idea
of
the time and the idea of
the
her
idea that he could be with someone like that
in a peaceful world.
in a peaceful world. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the people at the time were sort of all covered in dust and
Yeah,
buried in rubble.
exactly.
Well, that's what I mean. Like their entire world now is covered with the skeletons of
Yeah,
probably their own
skulls
friends
everywhere.
and like the world.
Damn.
I don't have anything else to say.
think no, that brings
Do you
to
have
the end of
anything
all my
else
things.
I
to say,
think
Zach?
that's all really. Yeah.
Yeah. So Alfie,
The
I'll
rating.
actually should explain again. As is a guest episode, we will take Zach's rating. We'll not add it to our official, but it's nice to know what they think of the film. So we'll do Zach's first, then. Actually, what did you rate Terminator?
So contrary to what my dad thinks, he thinks it's a 10.
Wow, okay.
I can't just say it's a 10. I've got to think about how it was emotionally, how it was the cinematography, the music. And
Obviously,
I can respect that.
I'd probably rate it an 8.7.
Wow.
Solid.
That's actually, I think, the first time we've had someone to give a number that wasn't like
0.5. All right, yeah, we never do that. But yeah, that's fair.
But
I do
definitely
agree. With that.
Yeah.
So then, Alfie, what
I've
is
gone
yours?
a little bit lower
Mm-hmm.
with a 7.5.
7.5.
Sticking to my normal sort of giving things a half.
Respectable.
Yeah, I'm like we are all seeming to be around the same like era here. Like it's not obviously perfect and it's not up there with the best, but it definitely of
It is
its
a good film.
genre,
Yeah.
it's showing what it wants to be.
Mhm.
So I gave it an 8,
Perfect. So
which comes to a 7.8.
nice one. That's
That's a pretty decent.
That's really high actually. On
decent
the
for us.
list,
I think it definitely deserves that.
Oh, for sure.
Doing some calculations on there. So
Yeah. Mental maths. I had my calculator out there.
Yeah, to add two numbers and divide
to
by
add two
two.
numbers together and divide them by 2.
Questions.
Questions.
There we are.
Yes. Zach has came with 3 questions to ask us today about the Terminator. We probably won't get any right.
I'm not too
I
confident.
think
It's been a
I
while.
think you might get
Oh.
maybe one of them right.
We hope so.
Possibly
We
two.
hope so.
That'd be good.
So take it with question 1.
So the first question is a multiple choice question.
Okay.
Because I'm not that cruel. I don't want you to guess just numbers.
Oh no.
So during the police station massacre, how many officers fell victim to the Terminator?
Oh, okay.
So A 17, B 19, C 18.
Why'd you do that like 17, 19, 18? I thought you
Wow.
were doing-
To be fair, that's
Well, there
that's
was
really
30.
tricky. There was
I
30
think it was
overall.
30 something police officers in the police station. So it's who were killed like on camera then, I guess.
Okay. I'm just gonna have to guess with that.
And this is according to Detective Weathersby's report afterwards.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah,
So it's
film
some lore
critic.
here.
So it's actually in the film. All
Yeah,
right.
so it's canon.
It's
Canon
canon.
to the Terminator.
Verified.
I'd have to guess 17.
I'll go 18 then in the middle.
You are right.
Oh,
17.
the powers of guessing are
Oh, that's
coming in
so
well.
that's 1 point to Alfie.
Yep,
0 to
definitely
Harry.
need the point.
Question 2.
Question 2. This what I think you might guess one. It's pretty obvious and common knowledge, but
Just
I just
kidding.
wanna-
Oh,
this,
no.
Watch this be
You can't
really
say
hard
common
now.
knowledge and then we like
Oh,
guess the
gosh.
totally wrong thing.
So, which former NFL star did Orion Pictures originally want to cast for the Terminator?
I don't
Right,
know
well,
anyone
I've got-
about NFL.
I have an idea. I'm trying to think if it was the 80s. What do you mean common knowledge?
To be fair, if you
Do you
know about
want-
the Terminator film, you
But
probably
said
know this.
NFL.
NFL player. It's
Oh, so
NFL
that's so
star,
good.
like from.
Yes, that's American football.
Yeah.
But he's a famous person. Everyone knows him, but not for an NFL star. He's not famous. He's infamous.
He's infamous as an NFL star.
Yeah, not as an NFL star, but
Oh,
that was his career.
He's an
But
infamous person.
He's an infamous person.
I have no idea. I'll be honest. I couldn't name
No.
When you say it, I'll probably know the name, but I have no idea.
I'm really trying to think because it must have had to been someone like pretty buff.
He was an actor. He was an actor as well.
He's an actor as well. He did NFL.
Chuck Norris.
No. Was it?
O.J. Simpson.
Oh my god! Is that serious?
Yep.
They were gonna cast.
Arnold Schwarzenegger was supposed to play Kyle Reese, and O.J. Simpson was supposed to play the Terminator.
Oh,
that is hilarious.
I understand now what you mean by he's infamous.
Yeah, when you said
he's
infamous, I was like, right, that's pretty broad. I was like,
oh
right.
no.
He's a really funny actor.
that would.
He's been in a few spoof movies.
Imagine Arnold.
I can't get over that.
Kyle Reese. I'm sorry, but imagine the difference between like the love relationship between. Imagine if he still looked the same as well. He's just like towering over Sarah Connor.
He just has no empathy in his voice whatsoever for the entire
with me if
emotional
you want
scenes.
to live.
I love you, Sarah.
I've loved you all my life.
Oh my gosh! Right.
Question 3, please.
Right, so question 3. I don't know if you'll get this one.
Oh, great.
I suspect you might not. So, what other James Cameron film that stars Arnold Schwarzenegger as well also stars the punk leader from the first scene of the Terminator?
Oh no!
Well, it can't be any of the other Terminator films.
No.
It can't be. It can't
but
be.
It's a James Cameron film.
It can't be Titanic.
He stars in. Yeah, he's in Titanic as well.
Who, Arnold?
No, that Bill Paxton. Who
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but Arnold isn't in Titanic.
I don't
he's
know
in
James Cameron
Titanic.
films.
He's in Aliens, but he's also in another film where, from 1994, where he stars with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
If only I knew James Cameron films. Again.
Only name James Cameron films like Titanic, obviously the Avatar films.
This has got me.
Yeah.
Oh, 19.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give a guess here.
Yeah.
No idea what film James Cameron directed in 1994, but
I guess you try and guess one with Arnold in.
I know that's what I'm trying to think. I can't think of anything with Arnold.
I can't think of anything. At all.
Commando.
No, sadly not.
What was it?
True Lies.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that.
I've never
film
even
as
heard
well.
of that. What is it?
I didn't know he was in it. Oh.
True Lies.
Yeah, okay. I think I did, as usual, non-right.
That is a pretty great promotional cover. That actually. I won. Yeah, with
well
1
done,
point.
Alfie, with your 1 point.
What do I win? I win an ever-growing lead over Harry in the trivia section. Points are now 46 to 24 and an 8th.
So
I don't know why you've got. I think that was something from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. You got an 8th for.
Yeah. So
I've
as
no
usual, last question: how relevant do you think this film is today?
Pretty relevant.
It's got I mean,
it's
5
really
sequels.
iconic.
Yeah, I think like we always say, a film had somewhat of like a following and a relevance if years later it's still getting sequels.
Yeah, that's
And,
very true.
Like this film had a 9-year gap, no, 7-year gap between its first and second film, and then a 12-year gap between its second and third film, and then they got tiny bit smaller, but there's 6 in total.
Yeah,
and the second film was huge. People still wanted to see the movie.
Yeah.
To see that franchise again.
Well, it's like I said, I think the film was like, I guess in America, I think it was X-rated, and in this country it would have been 18.
Yeah.
So say you snuck in to see Terminator, the first one, when you were 15. If you went to go see Terminator Dark Fate in 2019, it would be your 50th birthday.
So people could have literally grown up watching.
Yeah, like that could have been your franchise, and like literally every time a Terminator film came out, you were pretty much in like a different decade.
Yeah, you were.
Like, you were 15, then you were 20, then you were 30, then you were in your 40s, and then you were turning 50.
Yeah.
God, wait till the release.
The second one's a lot more tame as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think they
cut down on the violence in the.
They definitely went more action.
Yeah.
Than pure not what's it called, what's the word? Like not grotesque violence, gratuitous violence. Like in this, it was very much like he stuck his hand in someone, ripped their heart out.
Yeah.
In this one, it's very much we're shooting some bullets at people, but they're gonna ricochet off everything. But yeah, I think definitely it spawned one of the one of the films where the sequel is preferred to the original.
Yeah, which
And-
is a unique thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I think definitely. It's definitely a film that's, you know, if you don't like blood and gore, you can probably get away with it. There's
Yeah.
only a few scenes where it's very much like close up and brutal with it.
And if you're scared of, I don't know, tin and aluminium, maybe don't watch it. You might get a bit scared.
Yeah,
And when you see that skeleton at the end, if the skin came off, you're like, oh, it's fine.
I
Oh
know.
shit, he's made of metal. Oh no,
I don't like
that.
Mel.
If you're terrified of uncanny stop motion,
Yeah.
watch this movie.
John's actually, that might stop me from watching this again.
You watch all of it up until the last scene, like, no, that's alright now.
Yeah, but I think definitely, this is definitely, well, it's one of our higher rated films.
Yeah, I
and
think it's a quintessential 80s film, really, isn't it?
Yeah. A very iconic,
Oh,
very
absolutely.
big thing for James Cameron. Because the thing about James Cameron, if you look at it, directed some of the biggest films ever.
I thought this
Well,
was his biggest
actually,
film.
he's technically directed 3 of the biggest
Yeah,
films ever.
literally.
You know, the first $1 billion film, and then like the 2 other highest grossing films of all time.
Yeah, he's a bit
So-
of a...
It's definitely got something to learn
He's a
from
bit of a director.
watching this, guys. Go watch it.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's Metal Balls.
Wow.
What an interesting start to this interesting end.
What an interesting start to the end.
What
Yeah.
a podcast.
It's a podcast, yeah.
Yeah.
In case you hadn't realised by now. We're not a film.
What
not
am
a
I
TV
listening to
series.
I've
every
been
week?
held hostage.
Yeah.
Oh, not another one.
Please help me.
Another one. There's actually I'm a friend with the... What's his name again? I can't remember. We just pay him off the street. He stands on the
Why
corner
do all
and
these
stares at
people keep willingly walking into my house, say that they're being held hostage?
That sounds like you are actually holding them hostage, though.
No,
Anyway.
have you enjoyed your time on the AC?
I have, yeah. This is only the start of my podcasting career.
Oh.
Really? Oh.
I'll be on Impulsive, Logan.
Maybe we need to get marketing.
It's a bit bigger than us, to be honest. It's a bit bigger than us.
What are you on about? I've never heard of them.
So, as we say every week, you are listening to this right now on something, but you can find the podcast.
Might be
on-
reading it in Braille.
Right, reading it in Braille.
I actually
Don't
might try and do that for
Instagram,
blind
Twitter, Grindr, Tinder.
Yes, that's Grindr hasn't been plugged since Tom came on, and Harry has been getting some like stuff through that. So maybe you know.
I'm not on Grindr, okay?
LinkedIn,
That's what he says.
MySpace.
LinkedIn, that would be pretty funny.
Tumblr.
Set up an 80 Cinema Club
You can
LinkedIn.
hear that. You can listen to this podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google
Google.
Podcasts, Amazon Music and Audible, Google Podcasts, Good Pods.
We have actually had one other follower on our Good Pods account. So
Have you?
someone
Oh,
has
yes.
followed us on Good Pods.
YouTube.
Just fun.
Alfie has just promised me that he will get the episodes up on YouTube.
Yeah, but my word means nothing, so
His word
it's
means
probably not
nothing.
going to be up.
Braden Kearney, he doesn't have Spotify.
Oh, doesn't he?
No.
Oh my god.
Well, we have multiple.
Do you reckon we could fax him it?
fax him it?
Send him
fax
like
him
a-
the script, and he can
Yeah.
just imagine us saying. it.
Oh my god. We just transcript our episodes and we send them out.
Go and follow our social medias at the 80 Cinema
Oh
Club
my gosh.
on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter or X.
Oh, never mind. Sorry. The one follow we've got on Good Pods, it's a porn account.
Or a spam account. We've
Yeah,
got a spam
yeah.
account on
Oh well.
Great.
Following 176,000 people. 3 followers.
I'd also like to give thanks to everybody who sent us a photo of their dog.
Yeah, you said we got a few actually.
At the end of the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids
Yeah.
episode, I requested that we would make an 80 Cinema Club wall, and I currently have 2 photos of some dogs that we will put up on the Instagram at some point.
Do we have any new requests? Maybe
What do we need to get send in?
Well,
Send us a
we-
picture of
Send a picture of your national insurance number.
you know your credit card. Could you send a picture of us of you holding that facing away from you with a mirror in front, like a mirror selfie?
Those
We could
3
really
digits
appreciate
at the
that.
back.
Make sure you send us your debit card details with the 3 numbers on the
Really
back.
use it really to pay off these microphones.
For
Seriously,
legal purposes, this was a joke, and please don't come after us.
I would like to say as the official account for 80 Cinema Club. That was not a joke.
No.
We would very much like to steal your credit information.
No, we'll keep. Well, we won't make them send us anything. This
We
week.
could. I mean, they could send us. What's more tame? right.
A
I have
follow
to,
to the podcast.
I have to really.
A picture of you with aviators on, or you know.
Yeah, your favourite pair of sunglasses.
Yeah, you
There you
pulling
go.
your eye out.
We're just asking for photos of people now. That's not what we
Right,
were going for.
Then send us. I can't say that. Jesus, my mind keeps going to really bad things.
Right, we're gonna end it here. Please message us on Instagram with anything you want. Any
Send us a picture of a
suggestions.
potato, just one.
Yeah, a potato.
Parade on.
Yeah, our Irish friend. He's about 3 feet tall.
Is he not? I can't. Goodbye.
No, he's normal size.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.